Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Bow.
Wah.
What is the I thought you were gonna do the not I want to say J.G. Wentworth, but it's not J.G. Wentworth. It's a dealership by our old neighborhood. It's not Rockenbach Chevrolet. It's not that one.
Oh.
It's the one with the lion. Bob Rohrman.
He's still out and about. There's commercials on him for Peacock all the time.
Well, he died.
So he's not out and about, but his business is popping.
I had to
You saw him?
I've never seen it. Well, he's in Crystal Lake.
Well, he's actually in the ground, probably.
Rolling in his grave.
Roar! That's so fucked up.
What's he gonna come get me? What do I have, a ghost show where he come get me? We're back.
And deader than ever.
I'm Tamara.
And I'm Kelly.
And this is
Ghoul Beans. Beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I turned in my final project for
Oh my God.
my class.
The relief.
Yeah, but I still have to do 2 weeks worth of homework. Like, there's still more homework to do, which I'm confused
That feels
about.
illegal, probably.
Yeah. So that's how I am. Running a high on the Ghoul Beans shirts that I have created.
Oh, yes. I'm wearing one now. You guys can't see it.
It looks incredible.
If you paid me, you could see it.
At our Ghoul Beans only.
Everything has a price.
If I somehow explode into a zillion pieces as my death, I hope you say rest in pieces at my funeral.
I will sprinkle in the grave when everybody's throwing dirt. I'm going to sprinkle in like Reese's Pieces. I'm going to just shake the packet. Oh, where's my maraca?
Oh, she found it. Oh, there you go.
That's the pieces hitting your casket. That's what she would have wanted.
Oh my God, incredible. Sheila, you're the best. Couldn't be happier.
Oh my God. Sheila walked in with a bag of frozen coffee.
Yeah.
That's literally a bag of it.
She did. We're going to have that on the next episode.
Oh.
Sorry, you have to.
I know. Can you stick mine in the freezer, Sheila?
Mine too, Sheila. Thank you. I've never seen, is this how you get your dopamine? By ordering off DoorDash. I can see
Capitalism won again.
That's me and Amazon, baby.
Every day's Christmas at this house.
No, fucking every day's Christmas at my neighbor's house, and I'm so jealous. This bitch is a regular at eBay. I didn't even know eBay was still around.
Oh my God. Okay, wait.
Are you my sister in like 2012?
We never get any eBay packages, so you're just surfing the web. You're not really ordering anything off of eBay.
They're agreeing.
Yeah, I could feel the shake from behind my shoulder.
I'm in and around eBay every day of my life.
Never ordered a damn thing.
Want to know how?
I don't have an account or anything. I have to go in incognito mode.
I have an account. Don't judge me. How are you?
You already asked me. I feel good. Yeah, you did. I think you mean what have I been up to?
What have you been up to?
Well, we have some interest. I love it because it's our first time being able to be like this. But I also hate when other people do this. We have very interesting things coming. Interesting things in the works.
In the sheets.
Oh, at the hem of my sheet. I have really, really, really been excited about diving into that.
Me
and
too.
Also, I have been really into my job.
Yeah. That's
so,
incredible.
Very exciting.
Did you get into Wyoming?
We're back.
We're back.
Did I get into Wyoming?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
No.
But it's been 2 weeks since I interviewed, going on 3 weeks. And so I'm already taking other opportunities. My job is paying for me to go to this development thing.
Damn.
And it's during the same time. And I already said yes to that because they didn't directly offer me a Wyoming ticket.
Sheila's letting Bo lick her straw.
Sheila is white.
Just like lick the ice cream out of my mouth.
If you're laughing in the background, that's what that is.
No,
all of those frozen coffees have dairy.
And what you're drinking right now is not dairy. The lady at the store, so that day, I don't know what happened to you. The lady in Costco said this was dairy free.
It cannot possibly be dairy free because it is a canned latte.
I meant to look at the can. Maybe it's lactose free. But still,
the caffeine, no matter what,
all
makes
signs
me poop.
point to that was wrong.
It wasn't the milk; it was the caffeine. If this doesn't have dairy, then it was still the caffeine that made me shit.
The stomach gurgles was a classic lactose intolerant.
Oh. It was very that.
I was like,
from the depths of my bowels.
I was like, well, I wonder what that was. And you were like, did you hear that? Gotta go.
Gotta blast. I literally blasted. That was slow compared to how I was running in my chanclas. I fucking clapped my chanclas all the way to the bathroom. And I tried to close the door as fast as I could, but I couldn't. I was like, either the pants or the door. That was really aggressive.
That was so funny.
Very recently re-listened to The Blurb is Talking in Code. That is an underrated episode. That is such a fucking funny episode.
You know what? It's one of our top episodes.
I love
The entire body of Christ is our top one.
Of
and The
course.
Blurb is Talking in Code is our second. So the people agree.
I agree with the people as well. The entire body of Christ is my favorite episode, and I think The Blurb now has taken second place because that's when we have our hootah. When you ask me if I have a king for the Grinch, I don't. But I like him when he's a baby. He's so cute.
Listen,
give him a little shower or something.
You didn't.
He looks like he stinks is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, yeah, I thought we were dipping back into the king.
Yes, no. Ew, no. Imagine his drains. He can't. Do you think he licks himself like a cat?
There were so many questions in there. Imagine his drains.
Yeah.
His shower drains. I was like, what part of the Grinch is the drain?
It's obviously his ass. Ew, I don't like how they differentiated cheeks in the movie. He has like an ass in the movie. He's got a donk. The Grinch has a donk.
He doesn't wear pants.
I wouldn't either. Imagine, oh my God, if you have...
He licks himself like a cat.
Well, jury's out.
I don't think
we never see him shower.
He's in a trash pile. I think you do see him shower at one point. Isn't he like behind a curtain?
He walks behind it. He does like the...
Oh, yeah.
Like slumps out.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why you put mascara on.
I don't know either. I was doing it.
You love
like,
black smears.
I like getting makeup in my eye and it burning a lot. I'm really happy that your job is going well. That's really cool.
Way to bring it back.
There was no segue. I just went.
I don't know. Speaking of segues.
A tour? Let's do it.
A tour of what?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say I hate them. Segways?
I don't know if I've ever actually been on a Segway before.
I don't like looking at them. I don't like looking at the people driving by on them. Get on a divvy.
I don't like that they're wearing helmets. I feel like if you're going to...
We advocate for helmets on this podcast.
Not on a Segway. If you're going to be done...
They go fast.
If you're going to look...
Wear a helmet.
No.
Wear a helmet.
Absolutely not. On a Segway...
Sheila the nurse says she's nodding in agreement.
Yeah.
We're going to... Sorry, Segway. I don't want a lawsuit by Segway.
I just said don't wear a helmet.
Yeah, they're definitely could sue for that.
My personal opinion is I wouldn't wear a helmet.
Have you seen the ones with no handles?
The hoverboards?
No, it's the one wheel. They stand on either side of like a one wheel.
That's a hoverboard, I thought.
No, that's when it looks like a sideways skateboard, the hoverboards.
I've been on a hoverboard before.
I can picture you on a hoverboard.
It was hard. First of all, I thought I was going to like snap in half.
The kids make it seem like they're just whizzing on it.
Yeah, for sure. My little cousin, everything's so easy for little kids because even if they fall, they're falling like 1 foot to the ground.
Yeah. Mine would be a hard fall.
Mine was.
People would go, Ooh.
That's what my mom fell. She tried it and she was doing so good.
You let Judy on a hoverboard.
She was drinking. It was Christmas. What am I going to do?
That's a really extreme situation.
She did great. And then she fell and it was a hard fall. But she was fine. She was great.
No hip replacement for her.
No. I don't think she's old enough for a hip replacement.
I think anybody could get a hip replaced.
I'm going to need my knees replaced like tomorrow.
You do need your knees replaced. That's what, because I had you squatting out there.
Do you know what position I play now?
Please, no.
Catcher. I be catching every game.
Are you screaming when you're squatting?
No, because it's slow pitch.
They should
so
give
it
you
has
a
to hit the
stool or
ground
something.
first. So I just have to like squat a little bit. I don't have to like do the whole.
Yeah.
You know, drop it to the flow.
The whole kit and caboodle.
But I am catcher, and it makes me laugh every time.
That
I'm
would
like,
make
if
me
Tamara could see me
scream.
now.
I'd be laughing so hard I'd pee.
I actually did really good at my last game.
It's not
I
about
caught a
skill.
pop fly.
Congratulations.
See you.
It's not about skill. It's
No,
about
I
they
know.
have you at the.
For sure. No, I'm squatting down, and like the little girls from the other team, and they're all like, you know, adults, but like they're tiny little girls.
They're little petite women.
I am as tall as them when they're
Stacked on each other's
down.
shoulders.
They come out in the like trench coat and they're like, I'm ready to bat. And I squat down and I'm like, we're the same size now.
I love looking eye to eye with you.
I love being on equal playing fields.
You have to play catcher, actually. Otherwise, it's unfair.
Anyway, so what's today? Give the people what they want.
We don't know. To be honest.
OnlyFans. Ghoulbeans OnlyFans.
What
could it be? It would be beneath the sheets, right? It
has to be beneath the sheets.
It's got to be something.
Sheetless, scared sheetless. It's got to be.
If your OnlyFans is called Scared Sheetless,
I scare you naked.
give me $20 and I'll pop out.
First of all, you're undervaluing my services. $20.
It's just like a blank room.
Someone somewhere is paying for that already.
They're paying for a lot less, so I feel like we should do it.
They sure are. They sure are.
So what are we roasting? Today's roasted and ghosted.
Mm-hmm.
What are we roasting? What are we ghosting?
I suggested multiple topics, and you didn't give me any.
I said your options.
I said we could do high school.
Pick one.
You didn't say yes, no, nothing. In fact, you changed it to subject. So I'm not confident
I changed it to what?
at anything else.
No, I was super down. Let's do high school.
Okay.
You work at a high school. You've been in and around high school lately.
Lately, yeah.
So-
Until then, I hadn't been in a high school really since 2013.
Incredible. So what's a good topic to talk about in high school? I've got one. I am an above average sweater. And I'm not talking about like your favorite little cardigan. I'm talking about
She's not striped. She's sweating.
I am wet. Like just from
Period. Pop off, sis.
whatever gets
Beneath
you going.
my sheet.
So the fact that I had
You secrete a lot. You also cry. Like you are wet. In general. Sweaty,
you reminded
crying.
me of every date I've ever had. You are.
There's a certain level of wetness you have to be okay with.
Just something you should. That's my
But
Tinder
you-
profile.
You have to be okay with a certain level of wetness. Like you. At
What
all
do you
times.
mean?
Because you're like sweating a lot and you're crying.
Like I don't have to be okay with it. I just have to like live with it. You
Yes.
know?
Okay.
So
Continue.
anyway, none of this was the point. I feel like I've got it under control a little bit now. Not right now because I'm laughing a lot. But
Typically.
what I was gonna say is I think it was unfair that I had gym class at like 9 a.m.
Every
And-
year?
Well, in high school, like I had gym pretty early. One year I had it like the very last thing, and that was great because it was like be really sweaty and just go home. I hated having to run in front of humans and then go sit in like history class and just sweat.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's reminding me.
I wonder if is that still the case in high schools?
I had gym first period one semester. Holy shit. That was horrible. I was like, okay, so every day for the next 3 months.
So I'm just going to wear black t-shirts then.
I'm just going to be sweaty. Like, I'm just going to be. It carries over. The sweat carries.
No, yeah. You
into the next, like, 2 periods.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And that's the thing is, like, I would be so thankful if, like, someone else in that class also had gym at the same time. But, like, a lot of people maybe had nothing. You know, they were coming from English. They were coming from the cool classroom down the hall.
Yeah.
Not from the hot outside where we were just doing sprints.
Yeah. Or like walking the track.
It just made me feel like people thought I was really sweaty from just like walking the clock.
Oh, like I wish I could shout. I had gym.
I have gym before this, just so you all know.
Everyone knows.
Like, that was my secret fear deep inside. They're like, wow, she's like just a really sweaty person. Because some people are like that, you know?
You know what? I've thought about this recently that I would love to ask somebody that I barely, like almost never spoke to.
Do you think I'm sweaty?
You can ask them that. But I was going to ask them, what was the general consensus about me, do you think? You know, someone you didn't really associate with.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, and they'd be like, I didn't know you. I couldn't tell you who you are right now. And you'd be like, thank you.
You'd have to get someone you kind of did, I guess.
I would say in my school, I was pretty well known. So I feel like people would at least like remember that I was there.
Yeah. And like getting somebody you had maybe a class with. Yeah. But like you weren't like friends with.
Yeah. What did you think about me back then?
Yeah.
The worst answer? I didn't.
Who are you? Damn.
We like sat next to each other a lot.
We were compañeros in Spanish. Ryan Jones. Do you remember me? He doesn't listen to this. He's like getting married now.
Congratulations.
We're married now. That's a high school throwback.
Yeah.
Speaking of that.
Please.
It's the 10-year anniversary this year for me.
Our reunion is this summer.
Ours is in the fall.
Oh, nice. Is yours at Fire Bar? Because ours is.
Ours is adjacent. It's at Moretti's. It may as well be.
That's incredible. Do you want to come to mine? You can be my date and I'll be yours.
I don't want to go to yours.
That'd be so funny.
I don't want to go to mine.
We'll just show up as Ghoul Beans.
Not me wearing the sheet to Moretti's.
What? It's already embarrassing to go to Moretti's for your 10-year anniversary. You might as well be in a ghost costume.
My friend Samira.
Yeah.
Listens to this podcast. Hi, Samira.
Hi, Samira. God, I love her.
Me too. She begs me to go all the time. She's like, oh, I got another invite. I got another notification about her. I'm not fucking going to my reunion.
Well, currently there's only 8 people going. If more end up going, I would
like
go.
40 or 50 people.
You want to come with me? She went to high school with me.
You're going to see a lot of people you guys don't want to see.
And they the same thing, especially if we like go together, the same exact things in it. They'd be like, so you're still friends? You'd hang out with anyone else?
Fuck.
That happened to us when we were in high school. Our like elementary school principal was like, oh, well, like literally that.
And everyone shocked.
Yeah.
Fuck. When you go to your reunion, people are going to pretend that they used to speak to you.
Everyone was really nice in high school, honestly. Did your high school have cliques and stuff? Ours did not.
Ours had many, 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 many cliques.
Ours had, like, groupings of people that hung out, which I know you might think that's a clique. But, like, I don't know.
No,
people didn't, like, hang out with people because, like, they were the cheerleaders or they were the bitches. They just, like, they hung out with a lot of people, and that girl was a bitch.
I like that. I wish I kind of got to participate in that, which I think is why everybody always, whenever I tell stories, they're like, I think you were popular. No, I was kind of the one who's like, I get to hop a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I had a bunch of group friends who were in different groups, and those groups would never intermingle.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it went at high school. Like the cheerleaders, like nobody wanted to be friends with the cheerleaders, but the cheerleaders were all friends.
Right. I could see that. I think definitely our high school had less cliques. I definitely
They're
did.
all so ugly now. I recently went on a deep dive. They're all like very miserable.
Really?
Yeah, and like still dating the same guy that they were dating in high school or like married to them now.
I can tell you that I only know 2 cheerleaders. Like
Okay.
and
You
like
only know of them or
like
know
when
two
I think
personally?
of cheerleaders, so she lives on Palmies. And
Okay.
so like that was also kind of like cheerleaders for us. Like the cheerleaders did
was
the
different
flips
for
and
us.
stuff, but the Palmies were the ones that had
Dance.
like the actual pom-poms that I associate with like cheerleaders. And yeah, they did like the middle of the
Pommies?
yeah.
They just call you like the pom team?
No, they called them Palmies.
Oh, okay.
They were the ones that did like the show in the middle of like games
Mhm.
and stuff. Like what I would expect the cheerleaders were supposed to do. So I don't really know what we had cheerleaders. But
Sideline cheer.
I could literally only tell you, like, when I think of cheerleaders, they didn't exist in my brain except for 2 girls. I know that I always saw these 2 girls specifically, like, always in a cheerleader outfit. That one girl, you know what I'm talking about?
Cut her name. Say it.
I
Cut
literally
it.
couldn't tell you. Emily?
We had an Emily.
I think her name was Emily, and then there was a girl in my, she was a year older than us, but because I graduated early. I had to take a lot of senior classes. So she was in a lot of my classes, and those are the only 2 cheerleaders I ever saw.
Interesting.
Like when I was at a football game, there were a lot down there, but none of them register. Literally, those 2 girls are the only ones I know that did cheerleading for sure.
That's funny. And damn, what if they show up in their cheerleading outfits?
I hope they do. Good for you.
Honestly, own it. That would be sickening. If you were like a bitch on the cheerleader team and you showed up in your cheerleader costume, I'd be like, period.
But that's the thing; those weren't the bitches. You know what I mean? Not that I can think of,
but
like
if you were a bitch and you were on cheer,
yeah,
that's cool.
that's very cool. You're living the classic high school experience. Yeah.
We definitely had like differentiating like cliques.
Yeah. I hear that. And I feel like people did stick, but it wasn't like it wasn't Mean Girls-esque. Like it wasn't the classic high school cliques, you know? It was like a lot of people kind of stuck together. And I agree. I did talk to a ton of people. Like,
so me and my brother are a grade apart.
yeah.
And
that's so wild.
Yeah.
The fact that I literally almost know nothing about your brother.
Yeah, I don't know many people that do know. Well, actually, if you went to my high school, you know a lot about him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he like popular?
Yeah, and also like the worst.
Like other people were like, he's the worst?
Yeah.
Oh,
teachers.
Wild.
Yeah. So I would say ours was not that. Like how you were saying that like people were groups and like it wasn't very rigid. It was kind of rigid. Like
you had like the classic high school cliques.
Yeah, but like
honestly,
not so aggressive.
Okay.
Well, at the same time, I never like got bullied, and I think my brother thinks that I got bullied. He's like made up this story in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
He like thinks I was friends with no shade to y'all. Actually, a lot of shade. Actually, like the kids who wear tails.
It's huge shade. Like you can do whatever you want in your own time, but like we called those kids the U kids. They
would hang out in somewhere called the U.
Very specific to Crystal Lake South High School in Crystal Lake, Illinois. So in the cafeteria was a circle shape, like a half circle shape.
The pit.
It was a circle, and that was in the middle of like our crossing.
I saw a girl fall straight into that.
You know what a lot of people did.
It was incredible.
A lot of fights in the pit. It was great. But
the pit for the people at home was not very deep.
Although
it's called the pit.
It's 2 steps down, and it's a circle in the middle. Circle. Yeah, and all the hallways kind of connect up to it, and it's where you would waste the precious moments you had to get from one class to another just to like stand in it for a sec. After lunch, instead of going outside, we would like sit in there a lot. And there's no reason for it. There's no reason, but it was there, and it was very, very, like very south. Like other schools knew about the pit. I think someone fell in and sued, and so I do believe it's been filled up. But
it's definitely not been filled. I had cousins who graduated from there not so recently. I mean,
are you sure?
Pretty recently. They have the pit.
That was like a big story. But in the cafeteria, and I specifically remember I was playing softball as a young kid. there was a stone.
Mm.
Everything was concrete. So it was like a concrete half wall in a U shape
Okay.
in the cafeteria. And like attached to it was a smaller concrete wall with carpet on it for a bench, basically, like a U-shaped bench.
Oh.
And I remember in elementary school or maybe middle school, and we, for like the Crystal Lake Softball League, whatever, the like orientation would be at South. And I was sitting in South, and I was like, oh, my God, this is so cool. And my sister, Michelle, who was going there at the time, she was like, no,
Icon.
You're not going to want to sit there. And I was like, why? Like, I love it here, blah, blah, blah. This is what all the cool kids say. She's like, no, girl, it's not.
Girl, you better not.
And so 4 years later, I understood why. Because that was where the tail-wearing, the Cookie Monster girl, the Cookie Monster pajama pants girl.
Okay, so she was okay. Now we're getting into the specifics because the kids who wore tails at my school, we overarchingly called them the anime kids, whether or not they were into anime. Like, their friends wear the tails, and they're like, I guess I wear tails. Like, that group were the anime kids. And unfortunately, I think my junior year is the first, like, GSA that ever formed, and all those fucking kids were in it. And I'm like, I can't do this to myself.
For sure, no.
I'm not an ally.
I'll be gay alone.
I'm homophobic. Yeah, sorry guys. They were like, so in that, my brother was like, no, you hang out with those kids who wear tails. I'm like, literally could not name one.
Like, just because I'm gay doesn't mean I want to put on a tail.
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck?
Sorely mistaken, sir.
But the Cookie Monster Pants girl, she hung out with the other Cookie Monster Pants girls.
Yeah.
There was like 4 or 5 of them.
You know what's so funny?
And their boyfriends worked at the Meijer.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's what is weird about our high school is because Cookie Monster Pants girl was friends with a different Cookie Monster Pants girl who was really good friends with like the Sophie Short and Cammie girl who was really fucking popular. Like, that's how our school worked. Like, everyone intermingled, and like when I tell you that popular girls, like homegirls who were on the cheerleading team, didn't talk to Cookie Monster Pants girls, like, absolutely not. They hated her. They're like, why do you hang out with her? But like, those girls ride or dies, and that's how our school worked. It was so mixed up where you're like, I don't even understand why you're friends. And everyone was saying that to their friends. They're like, how are you friends with them?
That description is very accurate, actually. Okay, so it really was like, that's why I'm like, it wasn't all the way Mean Girls, because like the horse girls would hang out, and like one single one of the horse girls was friends with one of the girls on the cheer team. Yeah. So like the horse girl would get invited to, and I hope she doesn't listen to this. She knows exactly what the fuck she is. So she would get invited to those parties, and they'd be like, oh my God, don't bring horse girl, you know? And then I would end up there as well, but because I had like friends who were friends of those people. Yeah. And I wouldn't end up, like, the big events I was not a part of, right? But like maybe like the skater kids. I had a lot of friends who were the DMS like skater kids. Yeah. Like hemp necklace wearing. For sure. But I also had friends who were like Robin. Like, was not like that. Sure. My neighborhood kid friends. Yeah. So I would roast the idea of cliques. I think everybody should intermingle.
I think so too. And I will say, like, I think South did that. I think whoever hated each other was for really stupid reasons, but it wasn't because of like what you were into, you know? And like there were people who were making fun of other people for what they were into. Like we all at least disliked the U kids. Like, you could have been the horse girl and you walked by and you're like, ugh.
Oh, whoa. They were bottom of the barrel.
I will say,
sorry, you kids.
Your clique wasn't important enough to like be the popular clique or be the not popular clique. It was everyone's just friends with who they want to be friends with. They're kind of doing what they want to do. There might be beefs between them, but we all stand against the U.
Oh, I wish it was like that. It wasn't like that.
That was as long as you were not sitting in there, like karate chopping your friends and like also making out with them and stabbing each other with scissors, you were fine. Like, whatever you wanted to do was fine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No, I think also literally the structure of South gave you guys that ability to be like that. Yeah. Literally the building structure of Jacobs, I think, unintentionally created cliques.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I have no idea what actually the inside of Jacob's looks like.
so it's 2 floors. It's
Yeah.
2 floors. We have like 2 gyms ish.
Yeah.
2.5. There's like 2 gyms and then a multi-purpose room.
Yeah.
Which has like, it used to be the gym. Like it's got bleachers.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody, it's just like extra lunchroom space. We had a ton of kids. Like we were overpopulated. And so like when I started, it would like we would switch lockers every year.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be. So my freshman year, I had a different locker than my sophomore year.
Yeah.
But they changed it my sophomore year. So then we had the same locker all 3 years. Yeah. And so there was like, it used to be, the structure before I got there was that there was like a senior hallway. And like if you, it wasn't in alphabetical order.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And like, it was just like, I think it was like randomized or something.
Yeah.
And there was obviously the math hallway and the English hallway. And then like the athletics wing.
Yeah.
So like,
oh, shit,
people would get separated a lot. And
That's
so
fair.
you'd walk with your friends to wherever you were going.
Yeah.
And like, and depending on like, so my locker was in a not great spot. So I barely was ever at it. I would like go get my shit and like walk down the hall to a clearing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And then that's where like people would gather right there. And if you like wanted to ditch, you go to the D hallway bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, like there was very specific spots in the school. But the lunchroom created a lot of trauma, I think, for people.
Really? Why?
Because there was like the commons is
Yeah.
what it was called. And it was basically like the pit. It was like a huge opening.
Yeah.
And then during lunchtime, they'd put lunch tables out.
Gotcha.
But there was an overflow. If like you didn't have space in the commons, you'd go to the gym, the multi-purpose room lunch tables.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there was definitely a difference.
If no one saved you a spot, like if you end up in the multi-purpose room, you know
God.
you don't have friends.
No, it was like
Or all of your friends are
right.
the you kids.
Right. So it
They're wearing
depended.
tails, the multi-purpose room.
There. Oh my God. Actually, I wish they were being. They like went in the band hallway. Classic.
Oh my God, the band kids.
Yeah, I was very much just a kid at the school.
For sure. I will say our school, my school, was probably really segregated by class and not like rich, poor, but like sophomore, freshman, junior, senior.
Oh, that same.
Yeah, that would be like how we were split up and how like if it was going to be aggressive for any reason other than the you kids, it was because you were like a junior or a sophomore trying to like hang out with the seniors, which is so stupid. And like I had a lot of senior and junior friends, but it was just like the random comments that would come from like random people if you were sitting in the wrong section at a basketball game, at a football game. It was like, y'all need to fucking chill. They're like, I had to wait 4 years to sit here.
Ew.
And I'm like, bitch.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so that was and it was honestly really played out by the school because I think it was like
They encouraged it.
yeah, because
They're like, it is the senior section.
yeah, you are a senior, you made it.
Well, that's how they're able to like incentivize things. Like, well, you're a senior now.
Yeah, and you get to do cool things.
The kids at our school, if you hung out with like, and those of you who are from my high school listening, if you disagree, you're wrong. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you were one of those kids who hung out with like multi-level, okay, so there's difference, right? If you're a junior and you're hanging out with sophomores, that's bordering almost uncool.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're a sophomore who hung out with juniors and seniors, you were a troublemaking kind of kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you hung out with upperclassmen, like your mom got arrested for throwing a house party for high schoolers. Like you were like,
I could see that.
You did a lot of like, yeah, like if you're it was kind of that vibe.
Yeah.
Like moving up said something about you, and moving down can say something about you. But like seniors were not hanging out with anyone under seniors.
Yeah.
It's like as a junior, if I went back and like looked at the high school seniors, I wouldn't have known it. Me and Maddie, who was written into the show, she's a year above me, and I didn't know her at all.
Oh, really? I didn't know she even went to your school.
Yeah, she was on the Palms.
So you knew what a pommy was.
But they did not get called Pommies.
Oh.
She was on Palms.
I like it. Pommy.
I don't like it.
I like it.
Your little pommy.
I'm gonna get my pom-pom. My palms. Maybe that's the thing. They called their palm they called those their palms.
Bow, bow. That's what it sounds like.
Anyway.
They were in high school. They did not look like they were in high school.
No. I wish I looked like that when I was in high school.
I don't. I don't want to look like an adult woman in high school.
Well, I never want to look like Matthew Broderick ever, but
in some world,
no,
it would come to your benefit to look like him.
In
some universe,
if I turned into him after that movie aired and I was famous now, probably the only situation.
Anyway.
Anywho,
what was your senior prank?
I technically didn't have a senior year.
Oh, true.
So I have no idea what we did.
What was the senior prank, Sheila?
Sheila doesn't remember.
Sheila was scared of getting in trouble.
For sure. I know that the year that I was a senior, they blocked off the teachers' parking lot. So all the students parked in the teachers' part.
That's kind of cute.
I wanted an animal released in the school.
Oh my God.
I feel like if you're not doing that, you're not doing high school.
Well, let me get into it.
Ew, unless it's a snake or a rat. Just a snake, honestly. That's the only thing.
When my incoming freshman year, the seniors of that year.
Yeah.
So I was in 8th grade and the seniors that were there.
Yeah.
Ruined everything for everyone forever.
What did they do?
So they used to have off-campus lunch the year before I got there.
Oh, we had off-campus lunch.
Yeah, we used to have off-campus lunch. No, we were on lockdown after that.
Really? What'd they do?
They filled water balloons up.
Incredible. With pee.
And cum. And all kinds of shit, I guess. And they were throwing them. Well, some of them had that shit in it, and some of them were just a bunch of kids ruined it. They brought a trough of piss balloons, and all the rest were water balloons. And they had a huge.
By a cum balloon, I don't
know if the whole thing was cum.
I would
they're
go
probably
home
diluted
and demand to be homeschooled.
You're a sophomore, imagine, So after that,
no,
it was
I won't imagine. I can't stop imagining.
People got hit with piss balloons. I guess we were told about it.
That's amazing, honestly.
It was a whole thing. And so when our incoming year, our freshman orientation was and we will not handle any kind of
shenanigans,
tomfoolery. Not from you ever. And then by the time we got to senior year, we still couldn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I helped the kids at my high school with their senior prank this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they put streamers all over the hallway. It was a maze of streamers.
Oh, I like that.
Through the old Chicago pipes that are above.
Yeah.
And then they put out a bunch of very realistic fake roaches everywhere.
Nasty.
We're still finding them everywhere. And they took over passing period songs.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh my God! They wanted the first song. They wanted the first passing period song of the day. They requested to play the Purge music.
You did say that, yeah. That's horrible.
No, we were hard no.
Oh, I think that happened once. Maybe that was the year, our junior year or our sophomore year. They played the song that never ends for the passing period. It was real lame. I think my sisters might have had a couple cool ones, but I can't. When rules were a little less.
You could bring an animal in.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a show on MTV that I used to watch where they just show high school pranks, I feel like. But yeah. No, nothing cool like that.
Or the 1, 2, and 4 thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can't think of anything else like that.
We had a very creepy old man that
just roamed the hall.
He looks exactly like the Yup. He was retired and he just had a little side gig.
What was his job? Why was he there?
What was his job?
No, I need to
What was his job?
Did the staff know he was there?
Yeah, he used to work there, and then he
okay.
was retired, and then he came back
to do what? No, I need
to try to flirt with the cheerleaders.
No, I just
the way I can't tell you. He had a clipboard. He looks exactly like the Six Flags man, bald, turtley.
He had a clipboard. What
did he do?
I don't know. We had Hank, the security guard, right? What's his name, Hank?
Oh, we stand Hank, the security guard.
He was really chill. He went away, and then we had a security guard that was flirting with people, and I think he had to go away.
Well, no, this guy didn't go away.
I'm really concerned that like no one remembered that he retired, so they're like, oh,
They did.
There's
You can retire and still work at a school to like get, you can get your pension and still like, yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine.
It wasn't like the most I know that he did with his clipboard is like if you skipped, he's the one who handed you your detention slip.
Interesting.
I don't know what else he did.
So
Truly.
it also sounds like you had a pretty cooler high school experience than I did. Like I didn't skip. I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I was like not at parties. Sheila and I were usually hanging out.
On your own little ragers.
I think like my last year there, I was in a different crowd, and I would go to some parties, but like it really wasn't.
You were having board game nights.
I'll say that Sheila and I found like my Bratz dolls in my crawl space and played with them. So like no, I wasn't raging in a field. Others were. That was the high school experience for a lot of people.
I was. Getting drunk in cornfields, in the forest.
I didn't drink until I like was
taking
out
shots
of high school
before class started in the morning.
Wild.
Yeah, in the bathroom with a water bottle full of Skull vodka. Shout out Robin.
Wow.
Accidentally breaking into the Tommies in the hills.
Oh my god, I love Tommies.
We thought the door was just really hard to open.
I fucking love that Tommies.
It was locked.
Shout out for
the lights were off.
That's so funny.
And they were looking at us, and we were like, oh, we're gonna order, and they're like, we are very close, like very close. They were in their regular clothes.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Robin would be a good person to have on for a high school part 2 because she was there for a lot of that. I got arrested twice in high school.
That's wild. Not my experience. I was not doing anything.
Zip tied.
Still.
Yeah.
No. Anything illegal I did, I got away with.
I wasn't big enough to get in that much trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
What'd you do?
We're not gonna talk about it.
I ran away from a police officer because I was in the park too late. Very sober. We were playing Ghosts in the Graveyard.
You definitely would not have gotten in trouble.
It's illegal to be in the park past sunset.
They would have been like, get out of here. And that's all that would have happened.
For sure. But I still ran from the cops. So
you sure did.
I ran.
We're the same. I have a scar on the back of my leg from the ankle to the bottom of my butt from running from the cops with Robin and hopping a metal fence. And it cut me all the way up.
I have a scar on my leg from not pegging, but
from riding on the pegs.
Riding on the pegs.
I have a scar on my leg from pegging.
Because it gets crazy.
It gets real crazy.
From riding on the back of a bike and jumping off when we ran into a mailbox. Also high school. So I just we lived the same life.
Yeah. Two of the same people.
Different sides of the same coin, I would say.
I'd have to agree. You left me no choice after I've heard these stories.
I was going to ask something else about high school. There was...
What's the name of the gator mascot?
It's the gator.
He didn't have a name?
Just the gators.
He didn't... When he came out...
It's the gator. I wanted to be that fucking mascot so bad.
Wow.
But I was too self-conscious. I was like, I don't know if it'd be cool or not. You have to be... It
would have been cool if you were the mascot.
Right. Well, there's a certain...
But a mascot.
There's a certain type of person you have to be, and I feel like I definitely did not come out of my shell until my last year there versus just being a scared little high school. Like I said, I was not at parties.
Right.
Yeah, people would talk to me throughout the day, but I still wasn't at the barn burning.
Oh my god. I should talk about my first high school party.
You should.
Oh my god. It was at this kid's house who will remain unnamed. And he was like, my parents are out of town for days. I'm going to have a party. We're like, great. Showed up. Had my mom drop me off at a house a few houses back. Because I was like, it's at this one. And we literally walked into that backyard pretending we were going. Yeah. And then waited for her to drive away and ran out and ran to the actual party.
Yeah.
And all these kids, it was one of those situations where it was me and my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
But we had just spent really close all of middle school. We were so excited. We had been dreaming of our first high school party. All these kids were there that we did not think were going to be there.
Like cool kids or lame kids?
Like cool kids.
Oh, okay.
We were like, oh my God. Thank God we brought vodka in a water bottle.
Yeah.
Like, thank God. We were the only kids who brought any kind of alcohol, actually. So that, like, shot up our cool points.
Oh, yeah.
So we were in the woods, obviously, in, like, a tree line, getting drunk in the woods.
Yeah.
And my friend at the time was offered a lot of this, like, very high-class alcohol called creme de menthe. Chugging it.
Oh, no.
Chugging creme de menthe.
We've all been there.
Literally, when my mom picked me up, I went, Mom, we're drunk. I'm sorry. And she was like, oh, God, don't throw up in my car. My friend was in the back seat with the window down like a dog, like mouth open, like getting air because she was so drunk off creme de menthe and water bottle vodka.
That's so funny.
And we got to my house because she was sleeping over strategically.
Yeah.
She threw up all over herself.
No.
The wall.
No.
My bedroom wall. Her clothes. My toilet. And the floor surrounding the toilet. She threw up so much.
Oh, my God.
And we had somewhere to be in the morning because we were going to dye this girl's hair. So I was like, you got to get it together, bitch. And then, like, everybody afterwards was like, so, like, is she okay? And I was like, damn, that sucks. That, like,
yeah.
for her, she was wasted at this party.
Creme de menthe. What a story.
And it was like,
I wish.
It was blue vomit.
I don't wish.
Like
I take it
Listerine
back.
blue vomit.
High school, I was clean. I didn't do anything. I was the good daughter my mom wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm.
The second that tassel, I was like, I guess we should try some stuff.
Yeah, seriously, because like you know, if you don't do it in high school, the more likely you are to like go crazy when you leave.
Yeah.
What's the drink that you can't have anymore because it's been ruined for you,
Mine
whether high school or not?
Is Captain Morgan. The smell of it makes
Sheila said same.
My college roommate when I was still in McCabe.
Okay. Was I there already?
Yeah, you were there.
Okay.
She would drink. That was her drink, Captain Morgan and Pepsi. And
well, because that's what they had in the vending machine downstairs. They didn't have Coke products.
Yeah. And after, I don't know what party it was, and like, I have been really thankful and very grateful. I haven't thrown up from alcohol except at my bachelorette party. But it, like, I still felt horrible. I just, like, willed myself not to throw up kind of thing. But it was Captain Morgan, and I just thought I was dead. Like, I was like, this is what death feels like. I'd rather be dead. And then, like, a month later, I didn't know that was the end of Captain Morgan for me. But a month later, like, I don't know what Jacqueline was doing, but there was a full, like, red Solo cup, like, to the top in our bathroom of Captain Morgan and Pepsi. And I was like, it's 10 a.m. Like, and she left it there, and I dumped it out, and I was like, okay, no. Yeah.
It was, like, triggering.
Yeah. And fun fact, it still triggers me. Second fun fact, Matt's favorite drink is Captain Morgan and Coke. And I'm like, do not kiss me right now. I can't.
Okay.
The amount of parties, like, where we would be falling asleep, because you know my costume parties, they're epic, and people are drunk and wasted.
I'm familiar.
And in
my
Sheffield,
eye is still here somewhere.
I can get it for you. In Sheffield, I remember, like, us falling asleep and him just, like, sighing. He's like, I love you. And I was like, turn away, I'm gonna throw up. So that's mine, Captain Morgan.
My partner also really loves Captain and Coke. I hate Captain just as it is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me like gag.
Yeah.
And also, unfortunately for me, my partner is allergic to alcohol. And the way that it works is that they will smell like alcohol if they have a sip, and then they eat a full day's worth of meals, drinks, and water. The next day, it doesn't matter. And through the night, they smell like alcohol.
Oh my God.
A beer. So, but that being said, thank God, Captain doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's good.
UV
we
blue.
would not be able to hang out.
UV blue is mine. I cannot actually even look at it sometimes because it'll like make my uvula jiggle. And then Rolling Rock green beer in the bottle.
Okay. I would say my second would be a Four Loko for obvious reasons. And then a third that does bring a little nostalgia, but I can't physically swallow, would be Smirnoff Green Apple.
Okay. Okay, for me, it's UV Blue, Rolling Rock beer. Not in that order, but Rolling Rock's up there.
Yeah.
and Smirnoff Plain. Svedka,
Yeah.
Plain Svedka.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can tell the difference.
Yeah. I remember being at a party with a lot of people I didn't know. And like one person that I was pretty good friends with.
You mean like all of our college parties we went to?
Yeah, but this was back home.
Oh, okay.
And I like still was just starting to drink and stuff, and I had like Smirnoff Apple mixed with like Sprite, and I was like, "This is
summery, delicious."
Yeah, cut to me just like lying on the kitchen floor, like
yeah,
just, like not okay, but also still like talking and having a good time. And I was like, I don't know where this night got away from me, but I know I don't want to keep drinking this particular alcohol.
Fireball doesn't bother me.
Fireball does not bother me. Still, okay, well, I can still drink it. It does.
It brings back memes.
It brings
in a bad way.
It brings back memes, and it does give me like a little
shiver.
turn. Yeah. But I can still drink it. But I definitely have never once chosen Fireball, probably after our Fireball Second City situation.
Same. I'd have never chosen Fireball after that.
It's just chosen me.
A man, yes, literally. A man at Fire Bar bought me and Robin shots, and they were Fireball shots.
Oh, man. That brings me back to the high school reunion. It brings me back to high school. I was going to ask you, did you have a crush on any teachers?
Teachers? No.
Oh.
No. All the girls had a crush on a bunch of teachers.
A lot of girls
had
on a science teacher.
Oh, yeah. We had a science teacher who was also the soccer coach that everybody had a crush on.
Yeah.
And they would, and the soccer girls would be like, oh, yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you? And literally fully married with a child, and they're like laying across his desk.
Yeah. What else?
What are we ghosting about high school?
Let's just ghost high school. High school sucks.
You're not ghosting. You're going to your reunion.
If more people go.
I'm not going to that bitch.
I've always loved the idea of a high school reunion ever since I saw Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
For sure.
And like, to be fair, there's no need for a high school reunion in this day and age because Facebook lets us know, Instagram lets me know. So like, realistically, there's
I'll go to
no
the 20-year
reason. See, I don't even think like people don't even do 20 years anymore. You know what I mean?
I think these kids are already like, see you at the 20.
Oh yeah, I don't think.
I would rather go to the 20 when I have more of my shit together.
See, I
want to shit on all of them really bad.
You know,
I could now, but I want it to be like extra, like embarrassing.
Why don't you just go back and be like, I'm still doing better than you. Look at so much more. I don't know. I think it's fun.
I'm not going on that.
And like I said, like I wasn't besties with almost anyone. Like, and the people that I were friends with probably would not go.
Did you see that I shared that shirt on my story that I'm like, this is what I'm going to wear the 10-year, and it's just as locally hated?
No,
I'm going to wear that. I would wear that bitch. If I'm going to go, I'm going to wear that shirt.
That's so funny.
Because I am locally hated. There's like a whole group of people at that high school that hate me so bad.
That's so funny. You said you were never bullied. Did you ever have like a moment of any kind of, you said people hated you?
They do.
Why?
Relationship shit. And also I went to a very, very, very white school.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. And I was like, trying to find my way in there. And I've very, very recently had this is actually getting serious. I very, very recently had a moment where I was like, oh my God, I think I'm like well liked. And this one was like, yeah, you probably always like, you never felt like that because at your high school, people were like, oh, we don't get you.
Yeah.
Like, I do feel like I get that like, oh, I thought you were a bitch all the time. And I got it really hard in high school.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but then I started talking to you and I realized like, that's just how you are.
Yeah.
And that has not happened to me.
I feel like that's what people say when they're intimidated.
Yeah.
They don't know what else to say.
Well, a huge portion of that is that I was like, again, I'm not very tall, but I was tall right away. Right. So I've been this height since I'm 5'7". I've been 5'7" since like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So like, the feel of that.
Yeah.
And also I'm brown, visibly not white. Like I don't pass at all. And I was also like top of my class. I was like, it was very weird. Yeah. Because I hung out with like the funny kids, but I was also like, I was like 11th in the school, for like grades. Yeah. I didn't fit in like in a whole bunch of groups. But because now in my job and life, I'm surrounded by people of color. Yeah. and like about my age. I never get that at all. I like have actually like I like have skyrocketed in friends, to be honest with you. Like next week we have so much shit we have to go to, which I'm excited about, but also I'm like, I'm not used to this. Having to like constantly be worried about like not worried about, just like stressed about in a good way. I'm used to bad stress. I've been having a lot of good stress.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm ghosting high school in general. But my like besties, except you, come from high school.
No.
Very weird.
Very weird. Most of the friends that I hang out with other than you, my husband is from my high school.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We also didn't hang out in high school.
At that age, I was not considering whether or not I would be physically attractive to older boys. A lot to process.
At that age, I wasn't even thinking about having sex.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was not crossing my mind.
No, it wasn't.
It was like
people
are
having sex, and I'd be like, wow, that's like,
yeah.
I can't even fathom that right now.
Me neither. I thought about that the other day. There are kids in my high school that definitely are having sex, and I'm like, guys, what do you even talk about? Like, I literally.
Right. No, I 1000% just wasn't a thing in my brain.
What if somebody had approached you and been like,
I will tell you, I spent a lot of my life wanting like a boyfriend, and anytime like the opportunity approached in high school, I was like, ew, no, he's gross. So I don't think I was ready for anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like,
you're like, I meant like a really hot, beautiful
right.
guy.
I mean, like I would like Chad Michael Murray in a Cinderella story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You weren't getting that at South.
No.
Yeah, gross.
And here we continue to be single through high school.
Oh yeah. You never had like high. I'm pointing to Sheila off camera.
Yeah.
You never had like a crush on a guy that you heavily pursued?
No, we had crushes.
No, I'm saying like, did you pursue it? Were you like, let me walk past, let me like stare into his home?
No, we absolutely did that.
What about stalking as Midwestern high schoolers?
It was definitely kind of thing where you'd go to like a carnival. I was talking to Matt about this. We went to a carnival the other weekend because I like romanticize carnivals.
I love carnivals.
You know what? Go to one right now. It's different. We went to one that wasn't in a field, which a very Midwestern thing is to have it in like a field or a grassy park. And I went to one in a parking lot, which is also very Midwestern.
Yeah, like the Meyer parking lot.
It was like a really small parking lot, so it was very cramped. And the magic's kind of gone because, you know.
Did you go in the day?
Yeah, we did go in the day.
Okay, so another mistake.
But I remember going to like carnivals and going to like football games and stuff, and like literally however many times I had to would walk past a guy and be like, this, I know he looked at me that time. I didn't look at him.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like that was the magic.
But also like driving with your friends past people's homes.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And being like, oh my God, they're home.
And walking past. And and when in the day of AIM, like seeing that they're online and being like, ooh, what should we say? What should we say?
What was your AIM name?
True that 112. What was yours?
I don't remember.
How do you not remember? It came to me so quick.
Because if I wanted to use the computer, I was going to the demon room.
That's fair.
So I wasn't going in the demon room. But Lake in the Hills is very common to just straight up call people's homes, their landlines. Is so and so home?
I wasn't doing that with my crush.
I was.
Yeah, no.
And he'd be like, "Hey," because he
No.
lived up the street. He's dead now.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. That was a twist on a very, very sad story.
He was. I like him short. He was shorter than me. And he lived like up the street, and I could hear his skateboard. I think I've told this before. I could hear him and his skateboarding friends like coming from around the corner because the hill was so steep.
Yeah.
That you'd suddenly hear all the wheels, and I'd be like, "Shit!" And I'd have to figure out a reason to get outside and just be like, "Be outside." And he'd be like, "Oh, do you want to hang out?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, whatever."
I
didn't wait there.
I love that for you. I had two habits growing up. One was really low self-confidence. Okay, I had really high self-confidence, but also very low self-confidence for like what a man would think of me, or a boy, really, because there was boys. So I had a habit of liking guys who were like cute but slightly ugly. And then the second I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to like actually get this, they would become instantly very hot. and like 5 levels out of my
Damn, you didn't make the move early enough.
Exactly.
I had a habit of liking boys that, we're not like, when I liked a boy, he wasn't like cool.
No, but then would they?
He was cool, but he wasn't like popular.
Right. No, there's this one guy in middle school. I was like, I want him so bad, and so I started talking to him, and we would talk and everything. He was
that's like that kid
beyond
who got diabetes.
I didn't even know.
and Tony on that episode went, "Where do I get this diabetes?"
Yeah. But yeah, and then he was still kind of hot in high school because he actually was pretty good friends with like the people I was kind of like I was kind of hovering in his vicinity kind of thing. It never worked out. After all this, like I didn't have a bad time in high school. I remember my aunt told me like high school,
but it wasn't the best years.
I don't think if you were saying any year was the best you're gonna get,
you
should probably go to therapy. Because, like,
interesting.
That's real bleak. In my mind, I never want to have the best years of my life behind me. Because, like, what is the fucking point after that?
Or, like, let me be like 50 and think, like, oh, the 37 to 51 was incredible. You know what I mean?
No, because I plan on moving forward past 50. So I still don't want to look back and be like, yeah.
Can't relate. Because I'm going to kill myself at 50. So, like, but I'm saying, I think it's way more bleak to think that a year of your high school was the best year of your life than it is to be like, 43 was great.
For sure.
It's way worse to be like, my sophomore year.
Right. No. High school was high school, and, like, there's some good times in there. There's some boring times, and there's some bad times. But, like, it was fine, you know? Like, I didn't have a terrible high school experience where, like, I have to roast and ghost it, like, because I feel like that's the thing. It's like either they were the best years of your life or the worst years of your life. They were just years that happened.
Me too. I was going to say, I also don't think they were the worst years of my life. They were just like years of my life. I had some really bad points in high school, but they was not the worst years of my life.
Yeah.
And that being said, are you final decision, are you going to your high school reunion?
I remain if more people show up. I will not sit in Fire Bar with 4 other people that I definitely did not talk to in high school.
I'm not fucking going to that.
If the majority or even like 50 people went, I would totally go. Because why the fuck not?
I don't want to see anybody.
I would love to.
I think Samira wants to go for the tea.
I just want to go because also, like, it's wild that 10 years have passed. I'm so
that's true.
fucking old. And, like, I don't know. Also,
that's true.
I'm in a very rare position. I got way hotter. And way cooler. So, like, I would love to go back and just see, because I don't have to be like, I don't feel like I need to prove anything. I'm like, I'm in a way better phase of my life right now than I was.
Yeah, that's very true. I definitely got hotter. I definitely got cooler. But I'm not interested in, I think really I'm not interested in seeing anyone else. Because what happens is there's an exchange of information. Like, you go and you're like, what's been going on? And I don't want to have to ask.
You know what?
I don't care.
Another big draw is Fire Bar has karaoke. And I would really like to karaoke.
I would love to record people from our high school and send it to Samira and be like, this person's doing karaoke right now.
You can come to mine and record
me. My God. I'm going to go with you guys to Fire Bar.
Please. Whatever.
You guys have to come with me to Moretti's.
I would love. Are you kidding me?
I've never been in Moretti's.
I'm just here for a good old cocktail. So you went to high school with Tamara, right? You remember her? What did you think of her back then?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, gather information.
I think I know someone who went here. You know Tamara?
Well.
Wow. What did you think?
I heard she has a podcast.
I heard she's got a very successful podcast, and we all hate people like that. It's like ghoulbeans.
She's like looking very sexy over there, don't you think?
Weird, right? I don't know. She's gay now. That makes her cooler. She was gay back then.
She was gay then. And you all knew it and made her feel weird about it. Did you feel bad about that now?
They're like, did you go to school?
I saw that you posted woke on your Facebook. Didn't you bully her in high school? That's so interesting.
It's wild. Anyway.
I'm
just here for a cocktail. What about you? What's your story? Jacobs, 2012, 2013?
2013. You're a tail wearer?
Oh, man.
It's visible. The tail's visible outside the jeans. For sure. Oh, my God. And then they have to, like, look back at their high school pictures and be like, fuck.
at least I never did anything like that, right? I never look back at high school and I'm like, there's some explanations if someone were to see this picture.
I don't think I'm like, oh, look at little precious old high school me.
We never rated the coffee.
We didn't tell you what we were drinking at all.
We drank the La Colombe. Vanilla latte.
The cans of La Colombe. That's what we were sipping on.
They're pretty good.
And not even the can. It's in a glass with ice.
I have to pour it over ice.
I keep them in the fridge.
It is in the fridge. Extra ice. But anyway, it was good. And we already rated it on a different podcast episode.
Yeah, we didn't need to mention it.
Well, cut it out.
This was just a hodgepodge kind of episode.
Honestly, I'd skip this one if I were you.
No, I think we're going to listen back and laugh.
Follow us on Instagram at ghouls.podcast.
And email us, please, if you have any spooky stories, if you know anybody that's got any spooky stories, at ghouls.podcast@gmail.com.
And go like and rate us at Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that good stuff.
Anywhere you can listen.
And thanks for joining us.
And spelling
the Ghoul Beans. And everyone should go to their high school reunion.
I'm not going to mine.
Yes, you are. If I'm going, you're going. If I'm going to Moretti's, you're going to Moretti's.